Here is the garage, and in the background you can hear the church bells that we would hear all the time. This backyard looks a lot different than it used to. Right there in that spot used to be a pine tree that was pretty tall. I remember once Mike had a friend over when he was probably 6, I was 7, and I had him roll down the hill over and over to show off for us, while his friend and I snuck behind the tree and kissed a few times. And when we first moved in, this yard was all grass, and I remember wearing my pajamas the day we moved in and running around the yard with a wooden magic wand in my hand with a star on the end of it. And Mom says that there used to be 2 rose bushes right in the middle of the yard, but at first they were cutting over them, and then finally one day the grass grew long enough that she could tell they were rose bushes, so she had them protected, and they're still part of the yard today somewhere. This sidewalk is new. The old sidewalk was a pretty old beat up sidewalk, and one of the stones had a big corner missing, so we called it the cornerstone, and it was our home base when we played tag in the backyard. A lot of times when we were out in the backyard playing, we'd just be screaming for Mom to watch us while we did whatever our tricks were. Laura remembers doing that with a lot of cartwheels and handstands. We used to have a swing set somewhere here towards the back of the yard to middle. Mike remembers swinging really high on the swing set and jumping off at the highest point and landing flat on his back, knocking the air out of him. Laura remembers racing everyone to the swing set and having a huge fly get stuck in her nostril as she was running. Mike remembers when we had the run of these 3 yards because we didn't have neighbors on either side for a while, and he was running so fast that he killed a fly with his forehead while he was running. Mike used to spin the younger kids around in circles, wondering what would happen if he let them go. Hopefully he never did. There was a fun game we used to play in the yard where we'd throw a lawn dart up in the air and then run for cover before it landed. Somewhere back here I remember once, this is very cheesy of course, making all of us kids stand in a circle, holding hands, singing "We Are the World, We Are the Children." We had a bunch of these river stones that were here original when we moved into the house, and they're probably just mixed in with the other stones that have been added over the years. But Mike used to have to move those stones every summer to make them into a sidewalk or a patio or a wall. That was definitely one way he grew all those muscles over the years. The alley behind us, Laura remembers racing Nick in the alley and winning when she was about 8 or so, feeling like she could conquer anything, which of course only lasted until Nick's next growth spurt. And we all rode our bikes up and down this alley. The most famous bike I remember was Vanessa's Daisy, which was white with pink streamers. Mike remembers Nick riding down this sidewalk on a swivelly riding thingy. We cannot remember the name of it. But the most evident factor in the yard now is Mom's hobby and love for gardening, and all of the time that she and Dad put into shopping at Wolf's Nursery and Lowe's and who knows where else, and bringing home truckloads of plants and materials and mulch to make this nice oasis in the backyard. Even the koi pond that was here for a number of years, which Mike claims Alex fell into once, but now has a nice little fountain in it. And this back patio we spent many hours on, grilling and hanging out as a family. And right above here is the boys' bedroom window, and I still remember once watching Christopher's legs dangling out of it, fearing he was about to fall. But he made it. I think Mike ran upstairs and saved him. Those are just some of the many memories we have here in the backyard.